Welcome back, it's another one by the Bling baby. Today I'm working on this Winnie the Pooh themed popcorn bucket from Tokyo Disneyland. You can actually find these on eBay, and the cool thing is there are so many of them to choose from. The die-hard Disney fans go wild for these. I decided to go ahead and start on the top. So the size of rhinestones I typically use is between SS3 and SS20. So my formula for font is to match the rhinestone size with the width of the font. I feel like it's much easier that way and you don't have to overthink it. Today the glue we're using is Crystal Glaze. I did not sand this one, but I did wipe with alcohol. A little goes a long way. You don't need too much glue. Early on I made the mistake of thinking that I always needed to put an excess of glue for better hold, but that can actually do the opposite effect. Beginners will typically ask me, hey, what sizes do you use for the name? Can I just use one size on the name? That depends on the font you're using, but typically it's always good to have that variety, because if you were to use one size on this font here, it wouldn't look very clean at all, and it would actually, you probably couldn't even read some of the letters. The color that I'm using here is called Smoke Topaz. If you're looking for a dark chocolatey rich brown, this right here is your color. When it comes to larger projects like this, starting in a small area and then working your way out will be helpful. Large projects can seem intimidating, and sometimes so intimidating that you just kind of stop and you just quit and put it to the side and don't want to look at it anymore, which I've done a few times. But the best method for me has been just to take it a chunk at a time, and if I get tired of it, I just take a break and do something different. Feel free to ask me any questions down below in the comments, and for now, cue the music. I decided to go ahead and use scatter fill on this project. For scatter, you just need a minimum of 3 sizes. I usually use more than 3 though, typically around 5 or 6. But once again, that's personal preference. It just depends on the coverage you're trying to get and the look. On this part here, I decided to use yellow transparent AB rhinestones. As you know, anything with transparent stones, they will pick up the color underneath. Even though they were bright yellow, they still picked up that golden honey color, and it came out good. Now for this part, I decided to go ahead and outline this honey shape. I'm not sure what it is, but outlining your project before you start filling it in, I swear, is a game changer. You don't have to, but I feel like it's a lot easier and it just looks more uniform. Once again, back at it again with those transparent AB yellow rhinestones. They pick up the color beautifully underneath. For tight spaces, I use these micro lash brushes. So I just add a little bit of glue, apply it to that area, and then I start rhinestoning. Inside the bucket, there is a matching shoulder strap. On this part of Pooh, I decided to go with the Jelly Resin AB Rhinestones. Fun fact, I actually went in with transparent rhinestones at first, but they looked funny, so I decided to go in with this AB yellow. And sometimes it's like that, but eventually you figure it out, and I think the yellow worked really well for him. I also ran into that issue with my piglet as well. I didn't like the color choice the first time, so I went ahead and redid it. This is why you need a lot of patience, because sometimes things will go wrong, or sometimes you don't like something or you need to redo it. Actually recently had a situation where a customer sent me the wrong name for a project and I had to redo it. If that happens, it's okay, but just make sure to charge extra though. So here I decided to go ahead and outline this wood part with Posca markers, just for some more detail. This color here is light topaz. I actually decided to add regular topaz and like Colorado Topaz together so I could have a little bit more depth. So on this part, I decided to remove a lot of it and start over, but I didn't show that process. Because at that point I was in a fetal position on the floor after removing all those rhinestones and spending hours just getting them off and getting all that glue off. Overall, in the end though, I really like how it looks. You can see some texture and some depth. I used SS3 up to SS20 on the trunk. And honey, at this point I was already just laying them down. I wasn't even thinking. I just put them down and we kept going. At the end though, whenever I do finish a project, I do go back and try to look for any spots that I may have missed. Overall, this project took around 30 hours to complete. Don't let big projects intimidate you. You can do it. Just finishing up with some jellies. I don't care what anyone says. I love me a jelly rhinestone. Of course, I love glass and preciosa and all those, but these are just fine and they work great and they still sparkle. As far as longevity, they can fade over time, but I haven't really noticed that on any of my projects personally, and I've had them for a while. I did want to add that whenever you do remove rhinestones, make sure all that residue and debris is off your surface because that can cause problems with adhesion. Finishing the little details here. And here is our final product. Thank you so much for watching and be well. Once again, if you have any questions, go ahead and comment below. Thank you. Bye.